On 4th May 2004, in Delhi's posh defense colony, a fruit seller stood outside bungalow number C480. But his eyes weren't on the fruits he was selling, they were fixed on the house. For days, he had been quietly observing the movements inside. The house belonged to a high ranking intelligence officer. Normally, the officer went out for a walk at a fixed time every day, but 3 days had passed and he hadn't stepped out even once. In suspicion, the fruit seller knocked on the gate with the excuse of delivering a letter. The card told him that the officer and his wife had gone to Punjab for a wedding. At that very moment, the so called fruit seller panicked. He pulled out a phone from his pocket and made a call. Within minutes, a car full of agents arrived and stormed into the bungalow. These were not ordinary men. They were from India's external intelligence agency, RAW, and the man living in that house was none other than their own officer, a joint secretary. His name was Ravinder Singh, and he stood accused of the ultimate betrayal, leaking thousands of India's most classified documents to the CIA. This is the shocking story of how one of India's top intelligence officers turned into a double agent, how the CIA trapped him, and how he managed to escape right under Raw's nose. Ravinder Singh was born in Amritsar, Punjab, to an army family. His father served as a lieutenant, and naturally, he too joined the Indian Army in 1970. Posted in the Gurkha regiment, Singh rose quickly to the rank of major, but soon the routine life of the military began to bore him. He craved excitement, and that's when destiny pulled him into the shadowy world of intelligence. In 1986, using family connections, he took voluntary retirement from the army and entered RAW. His early assignments included monitoring Pakistan ISI activities in Punjab, later handling 6 separatists in Europe and posting in Syria and The Hague. But wherever he went, his personal weaknesses followed him. Singh gained a reputation for being a womanizer, a heavy drinker, and someone who spoke too freely, traits dangerous for any spy. Yet, despite this, he was trusted by seniors because once he had pulled off a big success, procuring secret US government files through a relative working at USAID. This made him look capable, and within years, he rose to the rank of Joint Secretary. But the truth was, his lifestyle was expensive and he was always hungry for more money. Now, let's talk about the CIA's strategy. To understand how Singh was trapped, we need to go back to the Cold War. The US had long viewed India with suspicion due to its close ties with the Soviet Union. The CIA built a strong network in India, often using cultural programs, academic exchanges, and even honey traps to lure potential assets. By the 1980s, after multiple CIA agents were exposed in India, the agency shifted focus. Instead of recruiting outsiders, they started targeting Indian intelligence officers themselves. Ravinder Singh, with his vices and weaknesses, was the perfect target. During his posting in Syria in the late 1980s, Singh casually revealed details of a secret Indian Air Force mission to an American diplomat at a party. This reckless act was noticed and reported by an Indian journalist present there. Although a complaint was filed, RAW took no serious action, and that mistake cost India heavily. Later, during his posting in Holland, Singh was finally caught in a honey trap. A female CIA operative entered his life, gained his trust and affection, and soon Singh was emotionally dependent on her. From that point, he was no longer just an Indian officer, he was a CIA asset. By the early 1990s, Singh was fully compromised. His medical expenses, including a costly heart surgery, were allegedly paid off by the CIA. For years, he quietly passed along information, but in 1998, India's successful nuclear test, conducted in complete secrecy without the CIA knowing, shocked Washington. In 2001, when he became Joint Secretary at RAW headquarters in Delhi, he gained access to Southeast Asia operations, sensitive files, and highly classified communication. He began photocopying documents, taking them home, photographing them, and transmitting them digitally to his CIA handler in Nepal, David Wasala. Between 2001 and 2004, Singh is believed to have leaked over 20,000 classified documents to the CIA. These included operational details, intelligence reports, and strategic plans. For India, this was one of the biggest security breaches in decades. Despite his cleverness, Singh's overconfidence betrayed him. In 2003, during a drunken party, he tried extracting sensitive details from a junior officer. The junior reported him, triggering suspicion. Soon, Raw began covert surveillance, bugging his office, his car, his home, even planting undercover agents as fruit sellers and domestic staff. For months, they collected evidence. By installing a bug in the office photocopier, they discovered he had copied 210 classified documents in just 16 days. For the first time in history, Raw placed a serving joint secretary under surveillance. Singh was now a man marked. In April 2004, Raw conducted surprise check at its headquarters to catch him red-handed. But Singh got the wind of it and avoided carrying documents that day. His application for leave to visit the US was also rejected, which made him suspicious that he was being watched. Then came the long weekend of 1st to 4th of May 2004. Singh and his wife vanished from their bungalow. When agents finally checked, they learned that the couple had fled to Nepal, helped by the CIA. Within days, they were moved into a CIA safe house in Kathmandu, given fake US passports, and on 7th May 2004, they boarded an Austrian Airlines flight to Washington. India had just lost one of its top intelligence officers to the enemy. Investigations revealed Singh had sent the CIA over 600 emails containing thousands of secret files. Yet, despite sufficient evidence, political approval to arrest him had been delayed, reportedly because elections were round the corner and the government wanted to avoid scandal. That delay proved fatal. 2 months later, on 5th June 2004, the President of India dismissed him from service under Article 311 Subclause 2 of the Constitution. But by then, Singh was beyond reach. Ironically, once in the US, he was of little use to the CIA. Soon funding stopped and Singh lived a life in financial hardship. In 2016, news came that he had died in a car accident in Maryland, though many believe it was a CIA cover-up. Ravinder Singh's story is a stark reminder of how one man's greed and weaknesses can jeopardize national security. While he betrayed his nation for money and personal pleasure, there were others like Ravindra Kaushik, the Black Tiger, who sacrificed everything, even their identity for India. In intelligence work, names fade, but deeds remain. Singh's name is remembered with shame, while Kaushik's is remembered with pride. So the question we must ask ourselves is this: what defines a person? The betrayal of one's motherland for personal gain, or the silent sacrifice for its protection? If you found this story insightful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to InCenter Stage. This is not just history, it's a lesson on loyalty, vigilance and the hidden battles that shape our world.